Good morning, brethren and citizens, wherever you are. Here we are once again with a message that says, can you pass your test? Can you pass your test? Can you pass your test as a child of God? Can you pass your test and ensure that God trusts you? That is the question of the heart. So today, I'm asking you, can you really pass your test? Let us look at Abraham in Genesis 22. God tested Abraham and he was asked to sacrifice his son, his only son. And God in verse 2, he says, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah, sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain that I will show you. So Abraham is being tested in this particular instance, and you find him trusting and obeying God. He goes on to go to Moriah. He takes his son with him and makes sure that he goes to Mount Moriah with him. And when he gets there, he decides to obey God, and he decides to slay his only son. God did not say to him, take this son that you hate, take this son that is a troublemaker, but he says, take your only son, whom you love, not whom you hate, and God, and make him and make an offering with him and sacrifice with him. Look how much Abraham trusts God. Look how much Abraham obeys God. Even during this difficult time, because brethren, it can't be easy to sacrifice your one and only child. Even in this difficult time, Abraham takes his son. It doesn't matter what he feels, but he knows he has to trust and obey God. He goes there and he decides that I'm going to slay my son. But look at what he says before he gets there. The son himself, Isaac, is worried. Father, I do see the firewood. I do see it is placed there. We have it. The fire and the wood are here, he says. But where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Do you see what Abraham says? He says that God will provide. In your situation, believe that God will provide. Perhaps it could be a test that you need to pass. Believe that God will provide. And do you know what happens? Do you see what happens? When Abraham goes unto the mountain, Mount Moriah, he goes up there and decides to slay his son. When he's about to do it, God says, stop. God was moved by the trust that he had in him. God realized that Abraham can go to the ends of the earth for him, trusting in him, obeying him. Meaning there is nothing that Abraham cannot do for God himself. When you are faced with difficult situations, do you still trust God? Do you still obey God for your life? That is the question of the heart that I'm speaking of. When you are faced with turbulent situations, do you still trust in God? Do you still obey God? Can you pass your test? In tribulation, in trials, can you pass your test? Remember, you are not supposed to postpone an evil day. You are supposed to write your test and not shred your test script or your question paper into pieces by giving up, by saying it is enough. I can't do this anymore. But you are supposed to ensure that in everything you trust God. You trust God for your life. You go and pass that test amidst all the difficult situations that are happening in your life. Don't look at the obstacle, but trust that God, amidst the situation, amidst this narrow path that I'm facing, God shall come to my rescue. God will provide for me. God will give it unto me. And in due season, you shall reap the fruits that are sweet from God your Lord. So, child of God, trust and obey God. Even if it's painful, even if it's trying, trust and obey God, and you will pass your test in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Shalom.